My cart just stopped on the track. That sucks. You really got me. I'm guessing I'm switching?
Yeah, you just have You race a lot?
Yeah. I do kart track reviews.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's that?
So like I just go to different kart tracks and just review them and put it on YouTube.
Oh, that's tough. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I got the highest time on this track.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I got a 58.
I gotta get you at some point then.
You do, I ain't gonna lie.
This is my first time.
Really?
Yeah.
That's tough. That's how you're a pro race too. That's tough. That's
Hey guys, it's Steven from Kart Track Reviews. We're gonna go over RPM Raceway in Jersey City, New Jersey. It's got a combination of things at this location, good and bad, but they're still uprating. So maybe we'll see and go back later and see what happens. So let's get into it. Alright, so for the racing and for the pricing there, they have one race is 30, two races is 60, one race is 90. That's for non-members. For members, it's 23, 44 for two, and 63 for three races. So obviously the membership is a significant difference. If you've seen my other video on RPM Raceway in Stanford, the pricing is exactly the same. And the same goes for the membership. It's $75 for the membership. You get the two races, the $5 credit, game card, and head stock and all that stuff. So since the pricing lines up with RPM Raceway in Stanford, it pretty much gets the same score, except it gets one lower in pricing, and that's because I feel like the location or what you get for it is not as good as RPM Stanford. And for that, I give it a 6 in pricing. Alright, so for karts.
Yeah, so this sucks. The steering wheel is like super low. These are the OTL karts, so they're not even the brand new ones that RPM has gotten at Stanford and Farmingdale. These are older karts. The tires are big, so that should be interesting. It's super stiff steering at a standstill, which is typical. They don't have power steering. I don't like the travel of the pedals, if you can see that. That's just awful. So I don't know, man. I'm gonna hate this. I already know. They even have shifter paddles here, and I don't know. Oh, I see what happened. So there's supposed to be an adjustment knob on the side, on the right side, behind the... It's supposed to be right here, but it's not there. Okay, well that really sucks. Okay. That really annoys me when things like that happen to these karts, and then I can't even adjust the thing to be good for me. I mean, they got a brand new track. It'd be nice if they had either brand new karts or at least went through all of them. So I'm kind of disappointed in that. We'll see what happens.
They have the OTL Evo Storm karts, I believe they're called. I don't believe it's the Super Leggero karts. I had steering that was non-adjustable, which I think is because the karts are just neglected at this point, since they do have plans to get new karts. They plan on getting the same SOTY karts that RPM Raceway in Stanford and Farmingdale have, which are the electric karts. The gas pedal on the OTL karts has a very long throw. What I mean by that is from unused position, from zero position, all the way to full throttle. It's a very long throw, very uncomfortable for me at least. However, I have had a leg injury, so maybe that's part of it. The steering was really stiff, and it just didn't feel fun to drive. For rental kart, rental karts do have a very specific type of of comfort that should come with them, and that's mainly because the average person that's going there is not really looking for a full karting experience. They're looking for just a little fun and have a little race with friends. So I think that the rental carts really should kind of reflect that. However, the tires are actually pretty good size for the kart, it seems, in terms of the weight of the carts and the size of the tires accommodate. A couple issues that I have with the carts, obviously besides the long throw gas pedal, is the fact that they're incredibly understeering on the track. That could partially be the track surface, which I'll get into, but it could also be the carts. Perhaps there's not much camber on the front. I don't know how exactly they're set up. From what I remember, they didn't look like they had much camber on the front tires, but that's, I think front camber is not going to be extremely obvious unless there is a lot of camber, which I didn't see a noticeable amount of camber on. Could be wrong, but that's what I'm kind of basing the understeering characteristics of. And the other problem that I have is when you go uphill on the Super Track version, which you're looking at now, you will realize that the kart slows down a lot, and that's with full throttle. Now, my problem with that is that because you're going uphill, sure, it should, or maybe it will slow down a little bit, but it goes almost to a standstill at the top of the hill on the Super Track configuration. So it was really frustrating to not be able to power through that as much as I would love to. I don't know if it's a safety setting to prevent people from flying over, or if it's an inherent characteristic of these electric karts. Perhaps the torque going uphill is not as good. Perhaps it is traction control. I don't know. However, I do not like it, and I actually hate it a lot. And because of that, I have to give the karts a 4. There's just too many things about the karts that I don't like, and that's very atypical. Now, with them being electric, they obviously start lower at the top end of compared to a gas kart in terms of my scoring. Typically one below what a gas kart would be. Now, with it going so low, I mean, I probably would have said the max would have been like 8 for an electric kart. At least that's the highest I've given so far. Now for track flow, you may be able to hear it in the background here. There is a lot of squeaking on this track. Now, it kind of reminds me of Mount Kisco, which is a K1 speed location. Their track on the second level is incredibly squeaky, incredibly polished, and what resembles a slick track to me. Now, because it resembles a slick track, I assume it's a slick track. However, I'm not entirely sure if you would call this a slick track. However, the understeering characteristics kind of reminds me of a slick track, and so does the incredibly annoying squeaking. So the low grip combined with the incredibly annoying squeaking, I surprisingly still gave it a 7. Now, I think that if the surface was redone with asphalt or some similar type of material, I do believe that the score would at least get an 8. The track flow is nice. It does get narrow in some locations, like when you're going uphill. However, if it was asphalt, it would be more drivable and more enjoyable to drive. And because of that, I had to give it a 7, even though it seems like a brand new track. Alright, so for customer service, still gave them a customer service score of 7, so it wasn't a massive deal. So in summary, pricing gets a 6, karts get a 4, track flow gets a 7, and that's mainly for the actual flow of the track. But I believe the surface can be improved, and I believe that that would help the track flow a lot if the surface was changed. But that is a lot of money. And for customer service, I gave him a 7, for a total of 24 out of 40. This is about average, if not below average of a score, and it's to be expected mainly because of the track surface and the karts either neglect or just overall discomfort with those karts and the fact that they're not really that enjoyable to drive. So, in my opinion, would I go back there again? I probably would not go back there again until they have the new karts. I don't know if they have them yet. I believe it is advertised that they have the new karts on their website, but it doesn't necessarily specify that they only have them. I think it just kind of generalizes it. So I wouldn't be surprised if they still have the OTR karts. I think once the karts are changed, I would have to do another analysis, at least karts versus the track. Customer service and pricing probably won't change too much. And I believe that the karts and the track flow will change. I think to make this place a location that's going to be 30 and above, that track's going to have to change the surface. It's just, but I need to see how those new karts will interact with the track first before I decide that. So, thank you for watching. If you like it, like it. If you don't like it, dislike it. If you don't like it, tell me why you don't like it. And maybe I'll change it in another video. Thanks for watching.